Sometimes it feels like I'm just on top of the world. I mean, I'm just at the highest peak that I could ever be. I mean, life's good, job is good, relationship is good. I'm losing weight, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing everything that I said I was going to do, and life is just at its peak. And then something happens. I just hit the lowest of low. I just hit the absolute pit. I've realized that that's going to happen regardless of how we really want life to go, right? I mean, you're going to have those peaks and you're going to have those pits. But is there a way where we can, stop getting super high and stop from getting super low? So we don't have the really high highs, but we also don't have the really low lows. I had my old man to explain it to me like this: is when you're on top of the world, your emotions are at the tippy top. That's when everything good is really happening, right? That's when, everything's kind of falling into place for your life. So your emotions are heightened. And it's the same when you're at your pit. Your emotions are heightened, but the flip side, right? I mean, you're sad, you're depressed, whatever it is, you're at rock bottom, right? You're down there. So regardless of what happens, we're gonna have these peaks and pits, but there's a way to shorten that gap from having these peaks to, bottom of the ocean to just having little, up and down hills. If you have a piece of string and you put it on a flat surface and you both ends too close together, what usually happens is the string, it looks like those peaks and pits that we were talking about, right? It's going to be really windy, but the tighter you pull on that string, what's going to happen is those pits and those peaks are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller until eventually you're pulling that string tight, because that string is supposed to represent your emotions. Okay, when you get really close like that, you're going to have those really high peaks and those pits, but the tighter you pull that string, the smaller those peaks and the smaller those pits are going to get. So you're not going to have the really high highs and you're not going to have the really low lows either. They're just going to be the more or less straight line. Now regardless, there's a lot of variables in life, right? There's a lot of things we can't control. So you can't completely eliminate peaks and pits. You can't do it. But what you can control is how you react to those peaks and pits. Once we get to a point to where we understand that these emotions do not control us, that these emotions, regardless of what's happening, whether it's good or bad, we can control how our emotions, how high they take us and how low they take us. We control that. Once we realize that, what this is going to do, it's going to make you sharper. It's going to make you sharper in your day-to-day life, because you're able to just focus on the certain things. Whether external things happen to you, you're not going to react as much to those things, right? Whether they be good things, you're like, oh, that's awesome. You can be super happy about it, and then kind of come back to this middle. Because then if something bad happens to you, you're going to be like, oh, well, that sucks, and then kind of come back to this middle. So you don't have to keep doing this super high, low, and peak, mid, pit crap, because it sucks. So once you realize that you have control over those peaks and those pits, how high they are, once you realize that you have control over that, your life can start to change. But it doesn't do anything if nothing happens, right? I mean, that's the point of this channel, is we analyze these things so we can grow, is because I was a product of those peaks and pits for so long. I was so good depending on what was happening in my life, and I was so bad depending on what was happening in my life, whether that be a breakup, whether that be a job promotion, whether I'm losing weight, whether I'm going to the gym consistently, whether I'm doing my cardio, whatever it is. I was a product of those things, instead of just staying the course, knowing that these things are going to have an effect on me, but it's not going to control how I feel all the time. And what that's done is made me sharper mentally. I'm able to I'm not reacting so much to everything that happens around me, because everything is constantly changing. So hope you enjoyed it. If you like this, drop a like. If you don't, let me know. That's cool too. If you really like this, consider subscribing to Uncharted Potential. This is where we grow. This is where we try to analyze this is where I analyze my life, to help me become better, not only for me, but for those around me as well. So I can try to help as many people as I can along the way in my journey. So with that, I'll see you in the next one.